I don't really know what should we do with the EwA, and then like, yeah, not really knowing other MCPP as well. But in here, very lovely that we get to know our commissions. That's nice. So in this session, we will talk about the performance management for EwA. Wow, I see Julie in here. Wow, seeing some friends also Ingrid. Nice, nice. So in this session, we'll talk a lot about performance management. But in the very technical things, I mean practical. So you can expect by GN, we will have some workspace. So before going further, let me introduce myself. My name is Lucia Yuriko, and you can call me Lucia, and I'm coming from Indonesia, not from Japan. Even my name is a little bit Japanese. So yeah, I'm MCPP OGX in Indonesia, the current MCPP. And yeah, sometimes I also manage the EwA alongside with other MCs as well. So in here, like with the management of EwA, it depends on the product or to the related commissions. And then, yeah, this is the session objective of today. More or less talking about the performance management, also how to manage the operations in the timeline and within the stakeholders that are involved. It is, yeah, can be the network, the IR, the partners, or maybe yourself and the MC team. Yeah, and then knowing what metrics to track, yeah, a little bit about like goals and setting planning. And then this is the agenda for today. Yeah, just a little bit about theoretical and more in the working time. So I expect you are on your laptop and you are able to do some practice in the end of the session. And then, yeah, maybe at the very first, please put some Zoom reactions if you are agree with one of these three statements. First, put love if you agree that Isaac is about goals and you think that it should be like that. And put some love if you think somehow it's true, but you don't know why. And then you put the reaction like, oh, if you think that it shouldn't be like that. Wow, I see love. And then how about other people? Put some reaction, please. One people put love. How about other people? Okay, two people put love. Three people. Nice, nice. Okay, how about the rest? How about the rest 10 people? What do you think? Okay, so yeah, let's say that these three people can be in the majority of the commission. So yeah, you agree that Isaac is about goals and you think it should be like that. Amazing. And then I have check-in questions. Please unmute your mic and then just say yes or no. So do you know your entity goals or not? It can be your current entity goals because yeah, now you are part of your entity, even maybe you are the LCP or LCPP, or maybe you're the retermer and such, and it can be the goals for the future for your term. So if you know or if you don't know, it's okay. Please put some reaction. You can unmute your mic or maybe share in the chat box. Do you know your entity goals or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's nice. Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Nice. How about the rest? Let's see. Wow, yes, nice. Okay, so actually we can end the session. We can end the session now because you all know your goals. That's amazing. But yeah, we will talk more about this in the MC planning sessions. There will be a lot of these things. So, and then my second question is, because you say yes and you know your entity goals, my question will be, are you satisfied and motivated by your entity goals or not? Please answer yes or no. And don't worry, don't be afraid. Your MCP is not here. Your LG is here. So if you say no, it's still okay. Okay, so do you satisfy or not? Let's see. Wow, okay. People say yes. Nice. You can also unmute your mic if you feel comfortable to. Amazing. Okay. Okay, so that's the check-in. So in this session, talk more or less about managing performance to reach the desired goals or output, whatever goals or output it is. Now, so in the very beginning, maybe you're wondering what is performance management. So this is the performance management. Like in a cycle, maybe if you are studying about engineering or management, maybe you are getting used with this, with the cycle of PM. But in general, the meaning is this: performance management is the process, not that this is the process, to ensuring that a set of activities and output meet the organizational goals in an effective and efficient manner. So put note on the bold words, and also this is the process. So performance management, not only how you started or how you end or how is the goals, but it is how you manage the process or the cycle. So this is the stage. Usually you will plan in the MC planning, of course, and then you will act. This is during the MC term. Track also during the MC terms, and review. Usually you will have like monthly review, quarterly review, or semester review, or maybe after you finish 1 year, it can be like the MC annual report. So this is the review in the MC stage as well as in LC stage. Yeah, we have a very what is that, routines. So this is the very basic element of PM. PM is performance management. This is not Prayog Mali, this is the performance management. So this is the very basic element. In PM, we have goal setting, of course, and we have the transparent communication. This is how you translate and how you deliver all the information in your mind. Also in PM, we have collaboration. This is how we call it with the synergy or the shared KPI, or maybe in the calibration meeting. We have a lot of terms for that. As well as recognitions. After all the hard works, of course, you are having the recognitions. Maybe you have the awarding night, or maybe the monthly recognitions. This hasn't to be very big. For example, this hasn't to be like the entity awarding night with all the sweets and dress, but just a very small recognition. For example, you say thanks to the people that is having a very hard work, or you give a clear feedback that they haven't met the desired goals. Also having the regular review. Just imagine if you're MC, if you have weekly meeting, if you have the routine for weekly meeting, you will have 56 review, and then 12 monthly review, and 4 quarterly review, and 2 semester review. So you will have a lot of review that is hopefully can make the progress being better. And then lastly, we have the personal development. Of course, we are getting used with the PDP or team standard, with the 101. Yeah, a lot of personal development spaces. So these all the element in PM, and it cannot be left behind. For example, in my entity, we are only applying these 3 because the rest 3 are not important for us. No, it cannot be like that. Or if you say, for us, the most important is only goal setting, the recognition and the review is not important as long as we achieving the goals. It cannot be like that. Because these 6 are the whole cycle, the whole element that is linked to one to another. Yeah. And then how can we call it success or not in performance management? So this is what I summarize along the way. These 3 basic elements. The first, the financial gain. The second, the personal motivation. And also the lastly is the improve in management control. But of course, you have your own definition. You can say, I'm success right now, or I'm fail right now. That's okay, as long as it covers these 3 big areas. So you can say you have achieved the financial gain. For example, if you see there's a growth in sales, you have some approvals number in a product, or you have some purchasing list, you have closed the deal, or you have new partnership, something like that. And also it reduces the cost in the organization. For example, if your budget is like this to be executed, but you can make it reducing while getting the same output or the same result, so it can be also the success. It also means that you stop the project overruns. Yeah, a lot of projects maybe is not linked to each other, and also how you can align to the organizational goals means the entity ambitions, or what is that, the entity goals. Also, there is the personal motivation within the member and within yourself. So in PM, you can only say it's success if your members are very enthusiastic while you are not. And lastly, in the management control within the network, of course, if the personal management can help you in the audit and also all the legal or legislative requirements. And also it can simplify your communication because it's very clear about the accountability tracker or the accountability management. So yeah, these all big 3 areas are how you can call your performance management is success or not. And vice versa, this is the same applies. You can say it fall if it's also happen in these 3 areas. For example, in your management, you see that there is the unfair system, and also you focus that it's only fulfilling the checklist. Oh, I have done this, check. I have done this, check. I cannot done this. The deadline is still far. Okay, check. Something like that. And also appraisal, or you are focused on appraisal, not the coaching. So in unfair system, for example, you will have some EST and some VPs, also maybe some manager or director under yourself. In this unfair system, you are not giving the appropriate level of feedback and support or recognition for them. So they are only doing the goals, or they are only doing the fulfilling the checklist. And also, you have no trust, or you don't have desire to build relationship with them. The second part, I think this is happening the most for us. I think at least for me, yeah, sometimes I only focus to fulfilling the checklist. Like every time we have the monthly review, sometimes I'm getting nervous because I know my checklist is still a lot. Or maybe in the first week, I'm also getting nervous having the weekly meeting with my EST because I deliver, okay, we have this checklist, blah, 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 a lot. So yeah, my personal advice is please focus on this. It's not only fulfilling the checklist. Lastly, it categorizes as follows when you are only focusing on appraisal, not coaching. Remember, the PM is whole process. So it's not only, wow, you get this or you cannot get this, but how you can coach your member to get that. So the point is on the review system, how you give the review, how you deliver the review is not only being judged your members. You are not only giving judgment or you are only giving punishment to your member. So yeah, this is the success and this is the fall. You can also read this letter, and I know some people here are taking notes, so really appreciate that. And this is some misconception about performance management. So this is related to my questions in the beginning. If you think Isaac is about goals or not. So I summarize, we have these 4 misconceptions. The first, we only need to know the goals and how to reach them. Okay, you think I am a very good product manager if I know the goals is this and I know how to reach that. Or if you think your role as MCVP, your role to managing the performance is only about the number. The third one, if you think that you're only highlighting the weakness and you only give judgment, you don't give recognition, you don't say some proudness to your member and such. Lastly, if you think that your role is only to track the PM through the platform, through the tools, through the accountability tracker, just to keep them track. It's the same with only fulfilling the checklist. So be careful about these 4. Maybe the list is still go on, a lot of list, but I think this is the 4 most important misconception about performance management. And also remember about this, in a performance management, without proper implementation in the planning, remember in the MC planning you will face in the next month, your member may view the process as something they must have compliance with. So remember, only fulfilling the checklist, because this will result in a less proactive and more inaccurate performance. Yeah, I think this is a very kindly remember for all. And then during my term is MCVP, it's been like 10 months, officially months being MCVP. What I really learned in the performance management is these 5 areas. The first, I really learned about time management because, when you have the checklist, you have the goals, and you have the time range, you have to clearly define what to reach by when. And then secondly, it's about people management. Yeah, how you give empathy and what is the right time to give authority, how you delegate tasks, how you giving empathy, how you sympathize on something. Yeah. And then thirdly, I also learned a lot about product management, a lot of product because I'm the MCVP OGX. So yeah, we have like around 2 until 4 products. It covers like strategy, planning, evaluation, and also the execution. And remember, during PM, this is the whole process. So how you can value the process, not only the result or goals oriented. Lastly, I learned a lot about the setting the measurable goals and strategic directions because sometimes goals can be too high or is it too low when we are pessimistic, but sometimes we forget to reach the SMART goals. So I can share to you, this is 2 pictures. On the left side is my commission. These are the VP. And the right side is the MC. So in total, I have 2 big commissions, the OGV and OGT. I also have 2 initiative commissions, because we develop some EwA in here. And in total, I have 45 VPs. And just this semester, I have like 7 EST plus 5 EST initiative. So these are very big commissions for me. And just to be careful, how you manage the people is also how you get performance. So you can only be good at the performance management, but you also have to be good with the people management because it's related to each other. So I think I found this picture in the Twitter, and I definitely agree with this. Because in performance management, sometimes when you set the goals and then you set the timeline, you want to lower your standards because, oh, I think this is not measurable. I think my people cannot do this, or I think this is for hard for me. I'm still going to school. I cannot do this. But remember, when you are lower your standard, you will lose your winner. You don't know who is the winner. Either it's your VP, your EST, or maybe yourself. And the other way, maybe if you raise your standards with non-measurable standard, also you will lose your loser. So you can choose between these. Which one will you choose? Sorry, wait 1 minute. I will charge my laptop. Okay, maybe in between the section, please put in the chat box either you are agree with this picture or not. Put one if you agree, put two if you don't agree. All answers are okay. There is no wrong and right in this part. Wow, amazing. Okay, how about other people? One or two do you choose? Nice, nice. Okay. So yeah, we can move. After we talk about the theory of the EwA, let's talk about the performance management for the EwA perspective. I know some people here are handling EwA, or maybe you are handling more than one role. That's really okay. So in EwA, you have a lot of things to do, right? And this is the list based on the latest SOCA that we have, the list of entity who is officially running EwA. So maybe you are coming from this entity or not. It's okay. Maybe you just plan to have the EwA by next semester, or maybe by mistake you fill in the SOCA. That's right. So we have around 9 entities out of 26 entity who is running EwA. So in case you are looking for good case practice, or you will learn, or you just want to talk with your friends, you can reach this entity. And then, in summary, these are some activities that is running by the EwA entities. For example, some people held event. It can be webinar, workshop, or IR partnerships event. Some entity also running programs like voluntary-based program, internship-based program, or some round of event like series. Maybe you have like the upscaling level of youth speak, or yeah, you have a lot of that. I know some ISECers are very, very creative. And also some people also have marketing activities like doing podcasts, video series like YouTube, yeah, a lot of things. Also social media content engagement. That is really great. So if you are still planning about doing EwA, maybe you can look about this kind of activities. And how can me as an MCPP planning my EwA performance management implementations? So in summary, at least these are the 3 basic things that you have to plan for the performance management in EwA. The first one, to understand the stakeholder involved. Second one, to align and measurable timeline. Of course, you will have your own timeline. Lastly, to design the communication process. Remember, this is only the very basic things that you have to do to plan your EwA performance management. So it means if this is very basic, after you cover these 3, there are some upscaling sections or metrics that you can set. So let's talk about the first one, talking about the stakeholder involved. Of course, there you will have a lot of stakeholders in your EwA management. And remember that you have to consider either the stakeholder will involve directly or only influence you, or they will not involve at any process. And remember to not rely on your performance based on your stakeholder performance and vice versa. And you have also to put the accountability or the clear accountability system to this stakeholder. So these 5 lists are only the example about the stakeholder who involved in EwA activities. It can be the MC, the entity partners, if you are having the IR things, your BOA or your supervisory groups, also your partner, like company partner, community partner, and also your alumni. Remember to involve these all points to your accountability system. So you also have to keep them updated. Yeah, you have to keep them informed about what you are doing currently. Nah, the second one is to talk about the timeline. So, of course, you have to align the timeline with your overall entity timeline and the network timeline. So, and also remember to make it noticeable, accountable, and available for everyone. For example, of course, you will have your entity timeline. I think the biggest area of entity timeline is like doing conference. Some entity have 2 until 5 conference in a year. The elections, what is that? The election timeline, or also the reporting timeline, or your network, what is that? Network exam timeline, the summer breaks, the winter breaks. You have to be aware about that. And also in the timeline of yourself. How will you do the PM? When will you check this goal? When will you check the progress? When will you have the meeting? When will you have the review? Something like that. So also this is part of the accountability system. Lastly, you also have to be carefully design the communication process because the PM is the whole process. It's not only the beginning, it's not only the end. So how we deliver or how we communicate the process is very important in this. So the first one, you have to define how is the communications process and flow, and also how is the information management will be. Like how will you communicate that? By which channel? By when? Something like that. And also, this is part of the accountability system. So don't forget to include this to your accountability system. And maybe after a lot of talking, this is part of sharing. Maybe I can share a bit about what we are doing in here for the EwA. So firstly, like in Indonesia, we have some EwA activities in here. It can be either programs or event. So like in programs, we have these, we call it local internship. So this is how we do the employer branding for the ISACer in Indonesia. So basically we are looking for partners who wants to have interns from ISAC member or ISAC alumni, as well as we deliver that opportunity for our member who wants to do internship. And this is run by 18 LCs. Because in total in here, we have 26 LCs. The second logo in here, we call it ISAC Future Leaders. So this is like a mentoring-based program. We deliver mentorship for public who want to be trained by ISAC members to deliver their leadership capacity. And the last one, this is the hands holding the earth. So this is the local project. Basically, we are doing some voluntary activities virtually in here to help some small communities around us. And for the event, we have the Youth Today and the Impact Circle. So Youth Today is like an attraction channel or promotional channel to deliver the message about our products or our programs, while the Impact Circle is to deliver the SDGs related topics. So this is all the EwA activities that we are handling right here. And in between, we also engage our IR partners or maybe community partners who also involve our alumni in here. For example, in the local internship, some partners or some company who are looking for internship are coming also from our alumni. So for example, if our alumni having a company and they're looking for intern, they will look from our network. So this is covering all the things that we are doing. And in here, how we track the performance management, simply the goals and the process, we have the integrated tools. And I think this is very helpful. So in the left side, this is the EwA Tools by the LC. This is to track each funnel. For example, the stranger, the sign up, the applications, the apply. We have the very similar process like in Chief and GT, like the funnels. And the right side is the EwA dashboard from the MC. So all the tools are integrated. It's all using formula. So we don't have to check one by one or one LC by one LC, one funnel by one funnel. It's all integrated. So for example, when I say, oh, how is the number for impact circle? We just open the EwA dashboard for MC and we see, oh, which LC are lacking off, which funnel are lacking off. We also have the graphical, something like that. And I think this is very helpful. So it don't eat your time to check one by one. And for the routines, as an MC, of course, we have this kind of routines, and this is also part of the performance management. And we never missed one of the routines at least. So, for example, if this day has to be the MC weekly meeting, and today is the holiday, public holiday, let's say, we will move it to the next day or the day before. So yeah, this is very important to be accountable to another. So there will be no assumption. For example, you will think, oh, I'm working too hard, but my friends are not. I should be working with the ERPs, but they're not helping me. So you can check within this routine, which routine are missing. How could that happen to your team? So in MC, we have daily check-in. We put list about all the things that we will do in a day. So just in case people will reach you and they found you busy, they will know, oh yeah, I saw them putting that they will have meeting with Japan, for example, today. And we also have the monthly meeting with the LCP to deliver what are the MC doing, how is the goals, and how is the process will be. So they are very transparent about what we are doing. Lastly, but the performance appraisal. Yeah, we put some rewards and recognition, sometimes monthly, quarterly, and also we check how is the goals, how is the PDP within our ESD and VP, such that. So after a lot of things to do in here, I talk a lot. Of course, maybe you are getting bored with me. So now is the time with the workspace. Now is the time for working time. So wait me, we have the workspace files in here. I think the CC can help me as well. Wait. Okay, so basically I'm sending you the link. So in this link, you will see 5 slides within one entity. And please copy the slides and then put the entity name in there. Okay, so before I will explain a bit about what we are doing. Basically, what we are doing is covering the 3 peaks area about how will you start the performance management. So in the first slide, please put your entity name. For example, India, Philippines, Cambodia, just put the entity name so we know who is writing this. And then you can put the EwA Activities name in here if you already have. For example, yeah, youth space or maybe youth engagement, something like that, local internship, a local project, put the name in here and put the goals. Yeah, usually the goals can be the revenue or maybe the number, like the number of people purchasing, the number of sales, the number of partners engaged, put the goal in here and put the KPI, like the 1, 2, 3 KPI. And also if you already know, you can put the MOS as well. And to be notified, this EwA, if you haven't have the EwA in your entity, you can plan what kind of EwA will you do. And if your current MC already do, you can put in this as well. And put the link of the performance management dashboards if you already have. And if you feel comfortable, people will check this. The second one in the performance management, this is the stakeholder mapping. You can put the name of stakeholder involved in here. For example, the alumni association or the VPs in the OGX commissions, or maybe the IR partner, you can put the list like Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, like, yeah, you can put any list. And if you have more than 3, just feel free to copy the box. Lastly, no, this is not lastly, this is the second last. We talk about the timeline. You can put the link of your entity timeline if you already have. And if you don't have, you can list, for example, when is the summer breaks, when is the school breaks, when is the EwA realization, when is the peak for OGX if you have, when is the peak of ICX if you have, yeah, any kind of the biggest timeline or the biggest point within the year that you know. But if you have the link and you are comfortable to sharing, you can put in here as well. And the second box, you can put your routine for the performance management. You can put like how many times will you check the goals, or how many checks, how many times will you have meeting with your VP and such. And you can put the timeline on the goals or the ambitions to be achieved. For example, we will have the entity meeting in every month. I will have personally the goals checking in every week, something like that. And lastly, but the communication process, you can put the channel, like how will you deliver the information, through which channel, for example, WhatsApp, Telegram, Line, something like that. And the information management, I know some entity having the internal link or internal website, internal landing page for the people, you can put in here. Or you have the centralized dashboard, centralized Google Drive, you can put in here. And you can also put the routine for the PM. For example, you will do like online checking for every week, or you will have the virtual video call for the commissions, or you will have the T-Talk every week, something like that. So yeah, these all the things that you will do in here. I have shared the link. I hope you can open it. So feel free to copy. You will copy like five. Wait, no, you will copy from slide 1 until slide 6, and then fill it. Let's have around 15 minutes to do that. And let me know if you have any questions. You can just unmute yourself. Okay, see you in 15 minutes.
Gotta get back to you. I just need to know that you're safe.
Okay, hey Isaac. Hey Isaac. Let's hear some loud.
What's up?
Nice. Wow, wow, thank you. I see a lot of hard work in here. Wow, okay. A lot of entity has been filling this. So let's now time for sharing. Okay, let's hear some sharing about how did you do the workspace and how is the output. Also, what is your personal CTA or your entity CTA? Okay, anyone wants to share? Let's hear some brave people who wants to share. Anyone? Or should I point someone? Okay, let's see. Now is May. May is M. Let's see. Oh, no one started with M. Maybe N. Nian Lee. Nian Lee, because N is near with M. Nian Lee, are you there? Do you want to share?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'll start with the goal. So we put the most important MOS is youth engage, and then we divide the sub MOS into three parts: finance, youth, and partner. And there's some metrics because we haven't planned yet. Okay. So for the stakeholders mapping, we have the youth, the partner, especially high school, university, and the sponsor partners. And the third one is internal stakeholders, especially the commissions and the LCBs. The timeline is kind of complicated, so I think I skip it.
Okay.
About the routine for PM, we have the commission call and we conduct it bi-monthly. Then we have LC visit or audit quarterly and O2O with the LCVP monthly.
Nice,
for
nice.
For the communication, we have like just use social media and email for communication. Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Nian, for sharing. He has shared about the workspace output. Now let's hear some sharing for the CTA. What is your personal CTA after doing this or maybe after this session? And also what is your entity CTA you think? Let's hear. Anyone wants to share? Okay, anyone? Okay, let's see. Now it's 8 plus 3, so 3 is C. Oh, C. Okay, Kate from Philippines. Do you want to share?
Hi. So for the sharing more on the CTA, right?
Yeah.
Maybe for me, wait, I'll turn on my camera. Hello. For me, I guess one of the CTAs would be because for our context in the Philippines, so a lot of our EWAs are pretty new or like in the process of really stabilizing, and a lot of the EWAs are still in the piloting stage. And like I guess for our CTAs, it's too so we weren't able to finish. So my bad. But for our CTAs, be able to really reinforce the strategies that we want and be able to really emphasize on what kinds of goals we want to achieve so that we could also manifest that in the different strategies that we want to achieve for our main goals. And with regards to our performance management also, so a lot of our performance management tools aren't the best yet. So the session was also really helpful to make sure that we can improve all of those systems that we are lacking or maybe still have but can be improved. So yeah, thank you.
Wow, thank you, Kate and Nian Lee. That's really amazing. So you also have your personal CTA. I hope you are taking notes and please follow up after this because remember, every after conference or every after touch point, the very important things is how you do the briefing. Nice. Thank you for sharing. But I also want to give some reminder in here, because yeah, don't forget to differentiate either it's BD revenue or EwA revenue, because this sometimes to be somehow misunderstood, and you are likely to mix within each other. And remember, BD and EwA are different. How to differentiate the recognitions, and also how is the goals recorded, and who even you are handling the same thing, because I know some people are handling both the PD, the EwA, or maybe OGX or other roles. And then maybe if you're wondering what other entities are doing for EwA, I have put the link in here. You can check in the session output letter. This is how is the goal, and also in the workspace, you know what our other entity are doing. So in case you have a very similar programs, just reach them and having some conversation in between. And this is some useful resources. We have the EwA guideline. Maybe if you haven't read this, you can also click the link later. And maybe some important notes, because in performance management, sometimes the system effectiveness lies in the increasing performance and how you fostering the member development and motivations. So remember about this. Not only fulfilling the checklist, but how you empower or how you fostering your member development and yourself. So lastly, yeah, this is the end of the sessions. This is the Harvest the Learning. Maybe after this, we'll also have the session of Harvest the Learning. If you have any questions, you can put in this link. And also, please remember about the feedback. This will be activated after the check-in. And the next session will be Harvest Learning by Isru. So, because we still have some minutes, I think will be very nice if we have some quick question and answer, or maybe sharing space. So, anyone has questions or anyone wants to share something? Anyone? If you don't have, please put wave in the chat box.
I can share something, like something on the last minute.
Yes, please.
Let me. First of all, thank you so much for the amazing session. I think it's very important for